Okay, so this is where things would get good. A secret. How about we turn the story upside down? They cut their way through anything. A sense of wisdom. And that'll give me one on each one of these. It'll give me a bliss, a truth, and a glory crystal. Which is very intriguing. A secret. They cut their way through anything. I don't know which one to do here. Because like, I kind of want to do this one to find out what that is there. Because that's one that we haven't gone to. But then also at the same time, it looks like I could be going to the right anyway. No, actually, no, we'll do this one. We're going to do this one here. Unlimited strength. Let's see what happens. Power speaks with deep, innate conviction, the way a typhoon never doubts its course. This is how it happened.
They were given strength. Mental strength, yes. But also physical. The power to tear down their enemies. The enemies of the people. The aspirations had grown to trust the Oracle so completely that they were willing to gift them some of Reverie's power.
Good. The state of Athena. The crowd is hooked. I don't even know if it's me who's telling the story now, or some or all the aspirations are talking through me. But all these words, all these stories, they want to hear more. As if caught in this strange trance, Omar addresses the crowd.
This was back when Athena was facing its darkest days. There was an ecological disaster. The specifics are lost to time, but we know the population was devastated by vicious storms, which brought floods and mudslides. Then, as they are wont to do, a dictator arose, taking advantage of the pain and suffering to wield absolute power. The people were despondent. The ruling class's own inadequacy provided the perfect distraction. As they lurched from one calamity to the next, the populace grew ever more apathetic.
Okay.
And when there were signs of rebellion, half the populace looked away, or sided against their own interests.
It was up to the Oracle to break this cycle. To break the system that had enslaved the people. So they had to act. They decided to.
They decided to put faith in people, or to face the tyrant. I'm going to go with face the tyrant. I think this makes for a better story, but then also images float before my eyes. Fire, arms raised in anger, weapons.
They decided to face the tyrant head on.
To fight.
I sense the passing of time, years of strife and unrest.
It wasn't easy. They faced insurmountable odds. The rebellion became a civil war that stretched for years. So the Oracle decided to...
Okay, so now this is where it's going to get interesting. Keep on fighting, find a compromise. The story doesn't have to be a tragedy. However, though, we did this one earlier by unlocking the unlimited strength. So I want to do this one now. So we're going to go unlocked by unlimited strength. Because I think this will be interesting to see what happens from here. Did they? Did they really do this?
The Oracle decided to keep up the fight. No matter the cost.
Would I choose this path? Knowing the damage it could do?
Reckless. At first, the rebels were united. But, over time, as their losses mounted, the cause was split. New mandates, different goals. The unified front of defiance became a host of squabbling factions. The war was almost lost. Until it wasn't. Until Against all odds, it was won.
It was won. A new era. Gained 2 power crystals. Let's go. Did the Oracle know for sure? Were they always certain this path would bring victory and an end to the suffering?
With the aspirations on their side, the Oracle corralled the rebels, ground down the ruling class, and after many long years of war and death, they finally had peace.
I stop. My breath leaves me. I feel like I've swam across the ocean, ran across the face of the earth. The crowd is silent. This wasn't the rousing speech they were hoping for. Jade stands shaking her head.
That sounds like a fairy tale.
Jade, shut up and just leave.
A violent one for sure, like all the classics.
Oh god, here we go.
But a fantasy nonetheless.
Shut up, Jade.
Change doesn't come like a change in the weather.
No one likes you.
It comes slowly. Over decades. Longer. In your version, the war ends and boom, utopia. No, that's not how it works.
You mentioned factions. What happened to them? Did they all forget their differences? Rally around just because? Unlikely.
And what about everyone who died because the Oracle refused to consider another way? Victories like that, they aren't victories for long. That's not breaking the cycle, that's just hitting reset.
There are ripples of approval from the crowd. They agree with Jade.
So, I guess you have to choose, right? At some point. Who do you think deserves it? To become the new heart?
I'm too tired for this right now, but it looks like the crowd isn't. The gathered people seem to have an opinion, and we don't care what their opinion is. So I can't do that one. So you know what we're doing it. A story about ambition. We're doing it. Jade's on her feet.
Isn't power the best way to create change?
Shut up, Jade.
Systems are sticky. Once one's up and running, the first thing it does is make all competing systems the enemy. No getting around that without some force behind you.
The crowd nods. After the past few days, there's still a simmering anger that's ready to boil over.
Of all the aspirations, it is I who has been chosen most. When I am the heart, revolutions arise, but also conquest. Great leaders and strong ideals. I may be stubborn, but I am the voice of change. And of violence.
I love that. I am the voice of change. And of violence. I relay Power's words, and the crowd almost cheers. The memory of the protest is still at the forefront of everyone's minds. Yes. Wonder, can I also do... Oh, I can do multiple of these? Omar steps
I
forward.
dedicated my whole life to the pursuit of truth. Historical truth. Emotional truth. Philosophical truth. So, I think you can see where my preferences lie here.
Some of the gathered crowd nods sagely in response.
I would certainly be a valid choice. Many of your kind, like this young man, are naturally drawn to me. But this is often because they believe I know your kind better than you know yourselves.
Okay.
Regardless, in previous eras where I took the position of heart, learning increased. Knowledge flourished. So too did religion. The institutional search for the greater truth. Systemic institutions grew in power.
Like what we have right now,
Religious
basically, here.
authorities, educational systems. But the truth is nothing if not rigid, immovable, definite. Truth does not mean equality. It means serving a greater purpose.
I relay Truth's words. Some members of the crowd are unconvinced, while others are all in. See, right now I'm still thinking that we go See, that's the other thing. Is like, I don't know. My stories taught me one thing or two. So I can just keep going. If I have the crystals, I can just keep picking each one of these. And just keep giving them more and more. So, a story about moving forward. Because I can't do this one because I didn't do a secret. So let's do this one as well. We'll do this. We get 15 glory shards as well. Why not? They gather people talk amongst themselves. So they've heard the tales of the different aspirations, their traits, and what they stand for. After a while, there's an overriding favorite. Glory.
Well, even I wasn't expecting that.
There's a discussion about MK, about how the majority of its workers come from Atina. They use glory, just like they use the populace of this very island. Promise them the world, then entrap them within the system. Glory's there, amongst the crowd. When they're done, she speaks to me.
Look, you know as well as I do that I've made mistakes in the past. But progress is my whole vibe, darling. Reconstruction, rebuilding, forward, forward, forward. Before the whole mess with the egregor, this world had never known such rapid advancement in...
I'm hoping that this just lets me pick each one of these, and I'm not actually, like, I didn't go from power to the next one to the next one, like that sort of thing. So now glory overrides power.
But I'm always the first to recognize my own shortcomings. Well, second or third, at least. Materialism is part and parcel of my gifts. Glory, the idea of it, does also tend to promote a certain self-centered outlook on life.
At least she's honest. I relay her words to crowd. A large portion thinks a little selfishness is more than worth it in the progress glory would bring. So like I said, I'm hoping that that didn't override these two, because it's this one which is the one that I want to do right here. Right? So, tomorrow. Actually, hold up a sec. Notifications. Okay. Tomorrow, my story's taught me a thing or two. And with that, my story ends. Or it concludes, for now at least. It's late. People are tired. They begin to drift back to the naiads to sleep. I hear my story repeated in different voices across the beach, in discussions and debates, some arguments even. For me, it clarified things, like the decision I'll have to make. I stifle a yawn and make my excuses to the few who remain. All that can wait until tomorrow. There we go. So chapter 3. I guess we're gonna pick a new heart, which we already know I'm picking. I'm picking power. So it's yeah, power time.